ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, which AI actually writes the best LinkedIn posts? Look, I've been building AI content tools since GPT 3.0 came out. These days, they're all decent, but there's still significant differences. But really what it comes down to is that each AI is specifically good at a specific thing that you need to do to write your LinkedIn post. And most people are using the wrong AI for the wrong task. And I guess that's why their posts sound like, well, AI wrote them, right? Let me show you what actually works. So here is what, 90% of people do. They go to ChatGPT because unfortunately it's the default AI for most. And they do something like, write me a LinkedIn post about leadership. Right. Fire, and then they get this, which these days doesn't look bad, right? It's nicely formatted. You've got some bullet points and you have a post that you can just use. However, you've got a very, very generic post, right? And this is a post like, 80% of the AI slop on LinkedIn looks like. Leadership isn't about having the answers. It's not a bad hook. It's just a boring hook, right? Real leadership shows up when the plan breaks, the team disagrees, the outcome is uncertain. It's all true, and it has all been written about a million times. And most of all, it has got nothing to do with you and what you are doing, with your experience as a leader, for example. So how do you build a personal brand about leadership with generic phrases that's got nothing to do with your personal experience at all? Now, you may want to improve on this a little bit, and you can say something like, write in a professional but conversational tone. My target audience are founders and entrepreneurs. Make it engaging. Now let's see what happens. And it's, maybe it's marginally better. I don't even know. We've got some M dashes here. Most people think leadership is about having the right answers. Founders know better. Okay, so now we're targeting a founder. But as you can see, it's still very, very generic. This means saying this is the decision even when it's not guaranteed. Is that good leadership? I'm not even sure. Explaining the why, not just the what. Yeah. Taking responsibility when it doesn't work out. Yes. But again, generic, everybody can write this. I can write this. I can talk like that. Everybody can. There's no real connection to you, and it will not succeed in building your personal brand. And really what this is, it is a context problem. And the context problem is why most people think AI content doesn't work for them. And yeah, it took a long time of developing an iteration to get this right. But after, years of testing and playing around at this point, here's what I found. The question which AI is best is actually the wrong question, because each AI is best at different things. For me, by far, Claude is the best at writing. When you need actual words that sound human, that flow naturally, that don't have all these telltale AI patterns, Claude wins. It's not even close to others, in my opinion. The prose is cleaner, the tone is more natural, it just reads better. When we started Content In, we used GPT. Eventually we switched to Claude, and instantly, same prompt, different model, every single post sounded 10 times better, and users were 20 times happier. GPT, however, still's got its place because it's really, really good at strategizing. So when you need to figure out what to write about, when you want your frameworks, when you need to brainstorm angles and ideas, when you want to find posts that match your stuff, GPT is incredibly strong. It's great at analytical thinking, at structuring your content strategy, really shines there. All these little analytical tasks, all the deep dive in your analytics data, for that stuff, GPT is great. And Gemini, since Nano Banana, is best for images right now by far. Thanks to it, we were finally able to crack infographics, AI-generated infographics, which we couldn't do for the last 2 years or something. And I always wanted to do that. So the real question isn't which AI should I use. The real question is, are you using each one for what it's actually good at? And are you using it the best way possible? And that's really the problem. To get the best possible LinkedIn content, you theoretically need to use GPT to brainstorm your content angles and build your strategy. Then use Claude to actually write the posts with the right context. This is super crucial here. Then use Gemini or something else to generate your visuals, and then somehow stitch it all together, schedule it, post it, take your analytics, learn from it, and rework it into these prompts and into the system. Let alone having the right prompts for each one of these in the first place, right? You want the right context that actually sounds like you. In my opinion, for busy founders, it's not realistic. Nobody's doing that. You might not be a lot faster than if you just sat down and used your own brain, depending on your copywriting skills, right? And then, we haven't solved the context problem yet, right? Because this is the part that most people miss entirely, and it's actually an entirely new skill set that's needed for this. Even if you pick the right AI for your task, you still have the context problem. See, when you tell GPT to write in a professional but conversational tone, you have just successfully described 90% of LinkedIn users. The AI has nothing unique to work with. And the weird thing, you don't actually know the patterns of your own writing. You think you write a certain way, but your actual post might tell a completely different story. When you describe yourself to an AI, you describe an idealized version. When an AI reads your actual content, it sees reality. And there might be an authenticity gap right there. Because other humans, when they read your content, they see your style and your authenticity in that, right? And this really is what separates generic AI output from posts that actually sound like you, the context engineering. The AI needs to understand your voice, not a generic professional tone. It needs your actual patterns, not your self-description. It needs your phrasing, your internal wording. It needs the right structure and formatting rules for LinkedIn specifically, right? There's just best practices to follow. It also needs guardrails against all these telltale AI patterns like M-dashes, the buzzwords, the generic hooks, all that stuff. Building this yourself, you're looking at custom projects with custom system prompts, examples, structured outputs, testing different configurations, and hours of work before you even write one post. And then you're still missing the entire self-optimizing feedback loop. And this is what I kind of want to show you. You could just use a tool that has already figured this out. To get you started easily, we've built a free tool that does exactly that, right? As much as we can within a free tool. But, watch this. All you have to do is post in your LinkedIn profile URL and then click generate posts. And now our AI goes out, it checks your profile, it checks your existing posts, and it creates new posts for you, targeted to your ICP, knowing what you are doing and what you're about, and learning from your style. And here we go. As you can see, it's lowercase, which is something that I've been playing around with style-wise lately. And it has already picked up on this and already picked up on my style. You can also see that I didn't give any details and it has fully picked up on my topics. Most people think they need perfect timing to start posting, right? It knows what I am about and what I'm writing about. Your competition isn't other creators. It's the voice in your head saying you're not ready, right? Already it's specifically talking about the problems that I am talking about my ICP's problems. Everyone wants the secret to viral content. I'll give it to you for free. It's not what you think. This is our free tool. This can do it basically once for your profile. Obviously, this is only the starting point where we will start to optimize and improve massively from there. I'll put the link to this in the description. Please just go out and give it a shot and compare it to your GPT standard posts. It will get you started and it will know what you are about. If you want this to keep learning your style over time, if you want this to keep improving, if you want scheduling on top of this, carousel generation, rich media generation, and analytics to see what's actually working, that's what Content In, the full tool, does. Right? This is really only the starting point. This will be the first post, and then every subsequent post will be better and better and better. And that is basically the philosophy fully built out, right? We're using multiple AI models working together, each one doing what it does best. Claude for writing, GPT for strategy, a visual AI for carousels and images, all orchestrated, so you don't have to think about prompts, tools, switching tools, one tool that knows which AI to use for what. All basically so you can just be focused on being you and just give a little bit of input and orchestrate the whole system to work for you. Right. Challenge for you this week. Stop using raw ChatGPT for your LinkedIn posts. At a minimum, try the free tool, link in the description, and see the difference that a proper context, a proper prompt can make and proper input can make to the output right away. And if you're still manually copying between 3 different AI tools trying to get decent output, maybe it's time to try a smarter approach. The free tool takes about a minute. Content In has a 14-day free trial if you want to try the full system. Either way, there's a better way to generating generic posts and then spend half an hour editing them and posting that on LinkedIn. Personally, with Content In, I'm down to between 2 to 5 minutes, including media, including idea generation, everything with Content In per post. It is the smarter way. See you next week.